Picked up by Andre from three-quarters court, and he hit it! He had his eyes on the prize and let it fly!
What's going on, Tannimals? It's another edition of the Tanndemonium Sports Show, part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast Network, streaming live exclusively on Twitch TV. Make sure you are following and subscribe to us, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. Follow us on all social media. Just search either Vendetta Sports Media, or if you're on Twitter, media_Vendetta. I'm your host, Bryan Tann, and with me as always, my legal representation, the silent Bob to my J, or the soapy penis to my Millennium Falcon, Jackson Law. J Law, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. There's like a light on you or something right now.
Yeah, the sun is shining on me, but it's like I'm an angel.
And I know it's like God has come down to bless you.
Hey, I'll take it, man. I'll take it for sure. I need all the help I can get. No, Creed, say like the lowercase g, like a lowercase g. You know, I'd rather be a demigod than the actual God, because that is way too much responsibility.
Yeah, way too much responsibility, way too much work, way too much pressure. Like
I would seriously go Great Flood 2.0.
You want all the perks, but none of the responsibility, and that's where the lowercase comes in.
I would rather be Thor than Odin. Okay. Better yet, I want to be Odin's bastard son, Steve. Steve Odinson. I do not want that responsibility at all. Like, seriously, if I got a Bruce Almighty treatment and
Animal banana.
Like, seriously, if I actually got a Bruce Almighty moment and God just said, "You have all of my powers," I'd be like, "Good, Great Flood. Done."
Restart.
Like, I seriously, I would allow a select group of people to, like, you know, I would convert them into Atlanteans, and then I just flood the crap out of this place. Which is probably why I will never be a deity. I will probably
never be entrusted with that power.
Nope, not at all. I don't want it. So I would also give the Pittsburgh Steelers front office and the Miami Dolphins front offices, respectively, better hindsight on what's going on, so that the 2021 season would not be all that bad. We're not just going to be talking the woes of our respective teams, though, Jackson Law, because there are other teams in the NFL that have a lot of woes.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But hey, before we get any further, I got to say this.
Yes.
It kind of falls at the end of a week, and so it may be more appropriate next week, but happy almost 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, the 1 year
for the Tanndemonium Sports Show.
We've pumped.
Almost October 9th. I looked it up today. October 9th was the first episode aired.
That's amazing. And you know what? And today is our 50th episode, J Law.
I know.
50 episodes in, 1 year anniversary coming up. Man, oh man, the Tanndemonium Sports Show. In our short 1 year history, man, I think we've had some decent highlights. We found our stride, and we're only getting better. Thank you to everybody that's been with us. I've really enjoyed my 1 year here with Vendetta. And over the last few months, I've taken on more responsibilities that my wife goes, why would you even do that when all it does is piss you off? I'm like, well, because someone's got to do it.
The HR thing used to just be a joke. Now it's a reality.
It's a thing. Yeah. And I have to say one thing, because I was on vacation. I was on vacation. Yeah, the Eagles got a lot of woes. I mean, whoo, boy, did they get they got a trouncing last night. We're gonna talk about that too. Yeah, it was last night.
Yeah,
They got a nice little trouncing on them. That Prescott was able to show who he was, but is he who we think he is? He might. But last week while I was on vacation, an episode of That Some Cheese, no, not That Some Cheese didn't come out. No, it was the leading up to the week 2 episode of the football preview show.
Mm-hmm.
And it went up late because a now former intern didn't do what they were supposed to do. Now yeah. Here's my thing, Jackson Law, and I'm bringing this up for a specific reason. I'm not just bringing this up to beat the dead horse or to bring up old crap or anything like that. I'm bringing this up for a reason, and I'm actually going to circle this. Watch how I do this. I'm going to circle this to my Steelers, your Dolphins, the Eagles, and the Chicago Bears. Okay? Here we go. So this intern, not going to name names, Dave, had a meeting with myself and the Creekster, Creek's Corner himself, and he's in the chat, so he can confirm. Sorry, I've also been watching a lot of Letterkenny. So we had a discussion with this guy, and we were saying the best way to be successful here at Vendetta, A, do your job. 1A, keep communication about your job. And we also, and I'm pretty sure it was implied with keep communication, not to make assumptions. So, and this is low-hanging fruit, but a football preview show going up the Monday after that week of football is useless. It's absolutely useless. There's no way you can justify that. Now, any other sports media company, any other sports company, that's not just a mistake. That's a fireable offense. If you are an intern and you're supposed to be doing video editing for an ESPN web show, as much as I hate using those dreaded letters altogether, especially doing this show,
you might as well as just like said something bad to my wife saying that, or my mama saying that 4-letter word.
Yeah,
how dare you?
So
gross.
If you did the internet media, or were supposed to do the video editing for the dreaded network, and you were late on posting it in the timely manner, you're going to lose your job. Goat person in the house. Thank you, Goat.
Waluigi.
That's right. You would get fired. Or you would be banished so deep into the freaking archive room that you might as well work the night shift with Chad Vader. Yeah, I took it even further back on YouTube. If you don't know who Chad Vader is, go to YouTube, put in Chad Vader. Absolutely hilarious. Anywho.
Man, that is a long time ago.
Yeah, that's at least 10 plus. That's over 10 years, man.
Yeah.
That's like over 10 years.
Golly, I totally forgot about him.
Time ago. Yeah.
Totally forgot about Chad.
Dude, Chad Vader is awesome. But no, you might as well be working the night shift at the supermarket with Chad Vader. That's how low down on the totem pole you would go. Now, with that being said, yeah, we are talking about Dave. We are. So, Trey, being Trey, let it be known why he was not happy. And in a lot of ways, it was a lesson calling. And we're sports media, but we're also entertainment. Trey's idea of entertainment might differ from mine, but at this point, when you were told via HR head of the interns of what you need to do, and you didn't do it, that's a problem. So why am I bringing this up? I'm going to take it back around. The Pittsburgh Steelers knew from watching Ben Roethlisberger's play last year and the offensive line's play last year. They knew there was a problem. They knew that work needed to be done. Just like Brian Flores knew his offensive line needed work. What happened? Brian Flores tried to go the Bill Belichick route and do next to nothing, hoping he would find diamonds in the rough, and failed miserably. What's the end result? You got Tua Tagovailoa out. His ribs almost turned into dust. Now, I don't think he has broken ribs, Jackson. Well, I think they're like
they're fractured. They're fractured,
which basically means the difference between broken ribs and fractured ribs. For those that don't know, when your ribs are broke, you have to worry about internal bleeding. You have to worry about that rib splintering.
Yeah, puncturing a lung or something.
Puncturing lungs. It messing like I think a really bad rib break is when it scrapes when the splintered bone scrapes against your kidney. That's when you have a real problem. That's why if you remember watching any of the Rocky movies and they said Apollo Creed's ribs were broken, he was spitting blood. That's why.
Yeah.
Broken ribs are serious. Fractured ribs, it's more of a hairline break where it hurts like hell and you can't breathe because the inflammation of the muscle tissue around the ribs are pushing against the lungs. Or the break is sort of the bone itself is keeping the lungs from expanding. So you tape those ribs down to keep them in place. So now it's even harder for you to breathe. Yeah, well, you know what, Courtney, I'll tell you the truth. When you know how to damage bones, you understand the how and the why. So yeah, Tua would have actual ribs. Tua would actually be able to not only eat solid food without tasting his own blood and urine down his throat, if Brian Flores would have actually went out and gotten real offensive line help. Just like how the Steelers' offense would not be floundering the way it is if they actually had a good, solid offensive line. Trey Turner is busy spitting at folks. Whether someone spit at him first or not is inconsequential. He's the only veteran that this offensive line has. Kendrick Green, he's a tenacious, mean, nasty offensive lineman, which is what you want.
Tax expert, lawyer, doctor.
There you go.
Gotta have some side hustles, man.
That's right. You want a mean, nasty offensive lineman. But Kendrick Green is not the biggest guy at his position. He's going to have to put on some muscle mass this offseason. I think he's going to have to put on some bulk and some muscle mass, but not lose speed. Kevin Dotson looks like he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Chuks Okafor, I don't know. I think he should probably be pushing a grocery cart. So the whole point is the way I can tie these woes to your Dolphins, my Steelers, and with what's going on with Dave is that you know what needed to be done to make this successful, make this turn successful. And you failed effing miserably. So what's the end result? One person gives a resignation email basically dismissing any and all, shall we say, fault. It's someone else's fault but mine. You got one quarterback that's supposed to be the future of your franchise now spitting blood, barely able to move without being in agonizing pain. And you have a rookie running back that got 19 targets, and you're going to wonder why the guy's going to fall apart and possibly flame out before his 6th year in the league because his body is wrecked. It doesn't work, Jackson. It just doesn't work.
No. And Miami's offensive line is so bad. Like I mentioned this in the Slack today. Dolphins fandom is starting to turn on Brian Flores. Now, I don't know what input exactly Flores has from Omar Kelly, who's kind of the main insider that everyone in Dolphins Twitter like pays attention to. He's kind of hinted at the fact that Flores does have quite a bit of say on the players and personnel that comes into his locker room. And if that's the case, then this is bad. This is bad. This is sad. this is mad. This is, go on your, Dr. Seuss train there of whatever you want to say about the situation in Miami. But the offensive line is terrible. It's the worst in the league. Like, I'm surprised that Jacoby Brissett was able to do what he did Sunday. And really it was the defense that kind of kept him in it. Defense got an interception touchdown early in the game. I think, if I remember correctly, it was the first score in the game. And for Flores, it's not just like the personnel, it's also coaching too, because who the hell calls a wide receiver screen in the end zone is beyond me. It is absolutely beyond me. And exactly what everyone thinks would happen happened, was a safety. It was just an embarrassment after taking a 14-0 lead. Absolutely blew it. And they were lucky to get to overtime, and then they couldn't finish the job in overtime. So great job by Oakland for friggin', or not Oakland, Las Vegas. I still want to call them the Oakland Raiders. I don't know why.
So do I.
You know what? Steeped in tradition.
Well, see, when I was listening to the Steelers Raiders game, the Bill Hillgrove kept referring to them as the Oakland Raiders, like the whole freaking game. So
yeah.
It's all good.
Well, it took me forever to call the Chargers the Los Angeles Chargers. Now I've just got it to where I call them the Charges.
The Charges.
The Charges.
Oh, so they're a foul in basketball? Gotcha.
Yeah.
They're foul.
Chargers.
The Charges.
But Grier, Flores, I don't want to say Flores is on the hot seat, because it's hard to put a coach on the hot seat when your quarterback gets hurt and you're playing with a backup. But it's just, the offensive line is atrocious. If they don't fix the offensive line this coming off season, which I hate to even talk about next off season, because I was looking so forward to this season to finally see what Tua was going to look like. And now that he also has weapons, Will Fuller finally coming back, have Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker could hopefully stay healthy. Got some speedsters out there as well. And the defense, for as solid as it is, especially with the Xavier Howard situation getting figured out, I believe he is staying in Miami now. It's so disappointing. It's so disappointing. And I think if Flores doesn't fix the offensive line next season, if this front office does not fix the offensive line next season, then I hope the owner, Ross, steps in and then does something. Because that's the only way something's going to happen. Because Grier has been GM for many, many years now. I think Mac Hollins, that was on purpose. That was on purpose. Okay, I didn't want to mention Hollins at all, but somehow he's also a captain, I think, of the team. I don't know what is happening in South Beach. I don't know what is happening with this team.
And I'll tell you the truth. If I'm Tua, I'm hoping to God they trade me to Houston. Maybe my body will last longer. Like, seriously, Tua is the David Carr of the Miami Dolphins. David Carr, who was the Houston Texans' first franchise quarterback.
He wasn't a bad quarterback.
He was a great quarterback. The problem was that his offensive line
allowed
the defense. I swear to God, the popcorn vendor was allowed in the Houston Texans backfield to sack David Carr. Okay, and that's what poor Tua is going through.
Okay.
Oh, shots fired.
I think that's more sarcastic than anything.
I would
else.
hope so. But I mean, when you look and when you look at the Steelers' offensive line and you look at what's going on there, it just looks. It's just downright awful. I mean, everyone was alluding to, oh my God, Ben Roethlisberger gets rid of the ball faster than anyone. Yeah, he has to, because if he doesn't, he's getting sacked 35 times a game. And I will still forever and always will criticize the Najee Harris pick, not because of Najee Harris, but because the poor kid has no line to run behind. Everything that he has done so far in 3 games this season has been despite horrendous offensive line play. Period. And there's no reason why your rookie running back should be targeted in the passing game 19 times but barely getting 40 yards over 10 carries a game.
Yeah.
No reason.
Well, the reason why is because Ben
The
can't
offensive
sling it
line is
down the
garbage.
field.
Well,
Ben can't
Ben
sling it down the field.
Oh my!
Like he
Like
used to.
even when Ben does throw it downfield, it doesn't look right. Like when you've got Mapletron, you should be able to just toss the ball up and he always gets it. He should be mossing people left, right, and center. He can't do it. But every time he makes a catch, it almost seems like he has to lay out to catch a ball from Ben Roethlisberger or stop at a dime to catch it because it's behind him. And then he's slow to get up because he's getting killed. And then you see Deontay Johnson is out because he was out there when the Steelers are down by 9 with less than a minute to go. And Ben just puts it up and Johnson gets killed. Ben being done, the writing was on the wall last year and nothing was done. Mason Rudolph is still on this roster. We called for Dwayne Haskins to come into Pittsburgh. He's not the guy. He's just not. Now, and I can't wait. I would love to hear Josh Taylor's take on this if I can ever get him back on the show, because now he's Trey's friend.
Yeah.
But
now he only goes on cheese, and then he's like, no, that's enough.
I don't have time for vendetta. I have no time for these guys. I'm
a big shot TV personality in Pittsburgh. I'm too good for the Tanndemonium Sports Show.
Yeah, really. As long as if it's Trey Daubert, I'm coming on. Other than that, F that guy. So, but the thing is that, I've heard people say, well, a more mobile quarterback will do better in a Matt Canada offense. Okay. So then if the Steelers knew that coming in, either why hire Canada as your offensive coordinator, or why not start looking for a replacement for Ben? Now, I'm not going the route of Stephen A. Smith. Why don't know why the Steelers aren't going to Cam Newton?
Oh, you need quarterback Cam Newton. New York Jets, Cam Newton. Miami Dolphins, Cam Newton.
You get a Cam Newton. And you get a Cam Newton. And everybody gets a Cam Newton.
Like, I got something else to say about Stephen A. We can get to that a little bit later because we're on our teams right now in the terrible offensive line play.
Yeah. But we do have a lot more of the NFL to talk about as well. But the whole bottom line is that, look, Steelers and Dolphins. Hey, I'm not ready to call this a lost season for either team just yet because we're only going into week 4. But at the same token, I find it a lot harder to watch a Steelers game as a Steelers fan. I would rather just watch a Steelers game as a Steelers analyst, because then that way I don't take it as personally. But when I see what poor Tua's got to go through, I just feel bad for Tua. I'm more of a Tua Tagovailoa fan now that he's on such a horrible team, because I want him to do well in spite of them. Is Houston better than Miami? The first 2 games of the season, they were. Much better.
It's soul crushing.
I want to see Tua go to, like, I don't know. Maybe go to Houston. Maybe go to, what's another team?
At least my Arkansas Razorbacks are winning, and they're ranked 8th in the country, so I have that going for me. But they play Georgia this week, so that could end very quickly.
Honestly, I have to find a college football team to get into, because I know Pitt ain't doing nothing. Pitt ain't never going to do nothing.
They did Tennessee.
They did, but Tennessee sucks.
Tennessee does suck.
Tennessee is like the Jacksonville Jaguars of the SEC. Okay. The only reason why Tennessee has any sort of clout to them is because they had Peyton Manning all those years ago, and they're in the SEC.
They had a good team like a few years ago.
They were a good team a few years ago.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty bad. Yeah. Hey, their former head coach is coaching at my alum, Arkansas State now, Butch Jones.
That's good. Good for him.
Well, I mean, not really, because I don't think he's that great of an individual, and he sucks. He sucked with Tennessee. So,
all right, fair enough. Well, you know what? I also, though, Jackson, in our next segment, I want to get into be a GM. I want to build, like, you and I have the opportunity to actually build teams, but we've got a budget. Okay. And this is going to be very, very fun to do. But let's take a break now because I need to get it figured out and how I exactly want to do it. So we're going to take a break. This is the Tanndemonium Sports Show, a part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast Network, streaming live Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. If you check out some of our partnership sponsors, I really, really appreciate it. Check out monkeyknifefight.com. All right. Go there. Matter of fact, it's Tuesday night. Look over what they got going in 2 days. Thursday night, go over there, place a bet. They will match you if you use our promo code Vendetta. They will match you dollar for dollar up to $100 on your very first deposit. Get a pick, get something going on for this Thursday's game. Who do we have on tap for this Thursday, Jackson? Is this going to be yet another barn burner, or is it going to be a Donnybrook? I think it's going to be a Donnybrook, bud. It could be a Donnybrook. It's going to
Thursday night. It's Jacksonville and Cincinnati.
All right, Thursday. So it's not going to be that great of a game, but at the same token, how many drops is Tyler Boyd going to have? He did all that trash talking about how the Steelers gave up last week, but he's had a little bit of dropsies a little bit in his career. Maybe they're going to have some bets on the dropsies on the Bengals side, but how much pitter patter is Trevor Lawrence going to be able to do behind this offensive line? Is the offensive line going to be able to put it all together? More hands equals less work. Are they going to work together to protect Trevor Lawrence, the savior of that franchise? Who knows? Go over to Monkey Knife Fight, start placing your bets, watch the game. Payouts are incredibly quick. Make sure you use our promo code Vendetta. But we'll be back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show. You're on the Vendetta Sports Media Podcast Network, streaming live on Twitch TV. We'll be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. In case you hadn't heard, your favorite Renegade Sports Media Group has its own Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media to support our efforts to continuously bring you sports, gaming, and other media coverage as only we can. We've got 4 different membership tiers. For $3 a month, we'll give you a simple thank you on our Patreon site. For $6 a month, you get a thank you, and you get to become a recruit in Jackson Law's Vendetta University Gaming Series. For $10 a month, you get everything from the previous tiers, a special thank you at the end of our videos, free access to our upcoming Discord chat, and a free koozie after 4 months. And then the big dog, $50 a month, gets you everything from the previous tiers, as well as opportunities for Fantasy League invites, stream gaming, possible invites to mock NFL and NBA draft sessions, a once-a-month Google Hangout, and after 4 months, a free t-shirt. Yeah! Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media and help us to improve our pledge to bring you the best sports, gaming, and other media coverage.
We're back here on the Tanndemonium Sports Show. It's broadcasting live every Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media, a part proudly of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network. So, Jackson, and I'm trying now. Do you want to try to do the building of the franchise first, or would you rather go over some of the other things that went on this Sunday?
We could do building of the franchise real quick.
All right, let's do the building of the franchise.
It'll be a nice little change.
All right, let's see here. Let me get this. Let me get this going here. I'm gonna get it going here, bro. Because we gotta get a little bit of the Donnybrook, bruh. All right, so
in case you can't tell, we are exhausted. At least I am. I am worn out.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Well, see, I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed because, now my screen is slow for whatever reason. I'm using up a ton of memory now. I need to get a new computer. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to talk to the HR of Vendetta Sports Media about getting me get me something new.
Yeah, get right on that.
Yeah, I'll talk to that asshole. No problem. All right. So, anywho, this was posted on our Twitter feed, media_Vendetta over there on Twitter. Build your perfect team. Now, it's only your perfect offense with a budget of $15. Okay. Now, you've seen these memes before, J. Law.
Oh yeah. I love these. These are fun.
Yeah. Now, I thought this would be fun to do for what we're doing. If we're going to build our offense, these are our options, okay? For our offensive lines, $5 you get the Buccaneers offensive line. For $4 you get the Chiefs offensive line. $3 you get the Browns. $2 you get the Raiders. And for $1 you get the Steelers. Okay. Tight end, $5 Travis Kelce, $4 George Kittle, $3 Kyle Pitts, $2 Robert Tonyan, and $1 Blake Jarwin. For wide receiver, $5 DeAndre Hopkins, $4 Devontae Adams, $3 Chris Goodwin, $2 Robbie Anderson, $1 Hunter Renfrow. For running back, $5 Christian McCaffrey, who suffered a pretty bad hamstring injury last Thursday night. We'll talk about it.
RIP to many people's fantasy team.
Yeah, even though he's only out for a couple of weeks, your fantasy team is done if you're looking for him to be your guy. $4 for Dalvin Cook, $3 for Nick Chubb, $2 for Josh Jacobs, $1 for Damian Harris. And then for quarterbacks, $5 Pat Mahomes, $4 Aaron Rodgers, $3 for Tom Brady, $2 for Steve Burrow, and $1 for the Teddy Bridgewater. So, Jackson, you are the GM of the Miami Dolphins, the Fins, as they say in Europe. Who are you spending your $5 on?
All right, so I've picked this.
Yeah, just go through. Yeah. Just go through what you got.
All right, so I'll share my whole team. I'll tell you my whole team real quick. All right, so first off, I mean, if I'm gonna go big, it's go big or go home here. So quarterback, I got to swing for the fences. Got to take Patrick Mahomes here. Okay, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is the best quarterback in the league right now. I probably could have got away with Rodgers or even Brady at 3 is really good. And I'm sure there are people that would take Brady at $3 because Brady has also been playing phenomenally too. But I still trust Mahomes a bit more. So I'm a spend $5 on Mahomes. Now I'll skip over to offensive line real quick because the other decisions will make a little bit more sense when I tell you the offensive line. The offensive line, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I think at $3, that's an absolute steal. Not the worst offensive line in the world. I think they will do just fine, not only protecting Patrick Mahomes, but opening up the run game. This is where I went cheap running back. Damian Harris, I think is proven to be a semi-serviceable back. And I think behind a good offensive line, and with a passing game such as with Patrick Mahomes and the wide receiver, who I'll get to next, I think it will open up nicely for Damian Harris and be serviceable. And then wide receiver, you got to have that 1-2 punch from your quarterback to your wide receiver 1. So I'm going with Devontae Adams. I mean, as I love DeAndre Hopkins and I love the fact that he's $5 and Devontae Adams is $4. They're so close in just how amazing they are. But to kind of make everything work, Devontae Adams, my wide receiver 1. So that left me with for my tight end, that's Robert Tonyan from Green Bay.
All right, so you've got $5 from Mahomes, $9 with Devontae Adams, 5 and 4 is 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then 12 taking the Browns for the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
For your running back, you took Damian Harris, so that's 13. And then you finished off, all right, with Robert Tonyan. All right, that's not bad. See, I went a different direction than you did. I decided, look, you go with the offensive line that's protecting the marquee quarterback of the league right now. And that's with the Buccaneers offensive line. The Buccaneers also did an amazing job opening up holes, not just in that Super Bowl, but all season last year. Leonard Fournette had an amazing season last year. But at the same token, that Bucs offensive line in and of itself, it's nasty. It's got the perfect combination of power and speed to open up the hole and get the holes done. And with that being said, if I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to need a guy that can hit that hole and hit that hole hard. So I decided to go with a discount on that, which I think is a steal at the position. I went with Nick Chubb at $3.
Oh, it's an absolute steal at $3.
That is an amazing steal because not only is he going to hammer into that, he's going to hit that hole hard and fast, but even every offensive line has its issues every now and again. He's heavy enough and hard hitting enough that even if an offensive lineman slips in there, defensive lineman slips in there, he's going to be a hard takedown. And if for whatever reason, a undersized linebacker or some defensive back thinks that they're going to slip in there, Nick Chubb is just going to run them over. So with that being said, I decided, so what am I going to do now? You know what? I think for my tight end, I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts. You want a big body with good hands and good athleticism as your safety blanket. So you definitely want to go with Kyle Pitts, and that's 6 plus 5. That's 11. Then I'm going to look at Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is very serviceable. He's got just enough speed. He may not be blazing, but at the same token, if a lot of the main pressure is going to get put on Kyle Pitts, Robbie Anderson is someone that is definitely going to carve up that defense, and he can be a pretty decent enough deep threat. But you're also going to need a nice and speedy wide receiver as well that gets you those really, really tough yards. And that's where you want Hunter Renfrow. He is very sneaky. The man has good hands. He knows how to make catches and slip under the tackle to get those extra yards. And then finally, with an offensive line like you've got and a running game like you've got, you just need someone that's not going to give the ball away. So with that, Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater knows how to make accurate throws. He may not have the arm that's going to destroy your team, destroy the defense, but he's got the arm that's going to get the job done. And as he's doing that play action to Nick Chubb, Robbie Anderson or Kyle Pitts gets open. He puts the ball where it needs to be because that offensive line is keeping him clean. That's my $15 right there.
Bet.
That was fun. I like that. That was a good time to be ahead, I think.
Yeah, maybe there'll be more. Maybe there'll be more in the future.
I would like that. I would like that because I would love to see where folks would put, say, I don't know, would you put Mac Jones higher than Joe Burrow, or would you put him under Joe Burrow? Because Joe Burrow's sitting at $2 right now.
Joe Burrow's fine where he's at. I wouldn't put Mac Jones above him. Mac Jones hasn't impressed me too much, but again, he's a rookie quarterback, so chill out, people.
Yeah,
chill out.
I agree. And on top of that, speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Justin Fields got his first start this week as the lowly Chicago Bears. They're not monsters of the Midway. They're more the chipmunks of the Midway. Man, oh man, 26-6, man. The Cleveland Browns just steamrolled. Nagy needs to be fired.
Yeah,
Nagy should be fired before week 9.
Yeah, we talked about this in the Slack today too. If they lose to the Lions, you've got to fire Nagy because he's either this is what's awful about the Bears situation. Either Matt Nagy thinks he thinks that Andy Dalton should be the starting quarterback. He doesn't think Justin Fields is ready. So either he is purposefully sabotaging Justin Fields and not calling good enough or the correct plays that are geared towards the strengths of Justin Fields. He's either purposefully sabotaging him or, and I don't know if this is which one's worse, Matt Nagy just can't coach.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know which one is worse. Both of them are pretty bad, and it sucks to be a Bears fan if Matt Nagy is one of those two things. And I want to say it is one of those two things. I'm not going to say anything else. I fully believe it is one of those two things.
I agree. And you know what? I'll take you one step further. If I'm the GM of the Chicago Bears, you want to know what I do? I start having some closed door meetings with the Kansas City Chiefs. I say, listen, man, I want Eric Bieniemy. What do I have to do? What do I have to do?
I mean, you just have to ask him for permission. And as long as Bieniemy wants to interview.
I'm serious. If I'm the Chicago Bears, maybe I let Nagy, I get rid of Nagy. I get someone else to be interim head coach. Because at this point, you fire your head coach, And with him thinking that Andy Dalton's going to be the guy to get done, we all know that he's not. Dalton might get you 8 wins if he's healthy enough. But honestly, it doesn't even seem like this team is looking to play for Nagy, really. The Bears. The Bears have been terrible for a long time. And you want to talk about being frustrated with having a decent defense and an offense that just lets you down constantly. That's what it's like to be a Chicago Bears fan. Because the Bears were my second team for a lot of years. What I would do seriously is I try not to keep Nagy on for long term. I'm the GM. I sit Justin Fields down and I say, look, kid, you're the future of this franchise. We have confidence in you, but this coach doesn't, and he's going to get you killed. So we're firing this guy. We're bringing in a interim guy. I'm going to talk to him about putting you back on the bench to preserve your body. To preserve your body. Let Eddie Dalton take the hits. That's what we brought him in for. Then, in the offseason, I'm bringing in the best.
Let Nick Foles take the hits.
Yeah, who cares about Nick Foles? And you know what? But you've got 2 experienced quarterbacks that you can learn from. One is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Learn from these guys. Learn from them. Then, in the offseason, we're going to bring in the best offensive mind in the league in Eric Bieniemy to be the new head coach. Whatever offensive coordinator is in here, we'll trust him. And then in the offseason, we are going to shore up this offensive line. Maybe we'll get Scotty L.
Imagine they bring in Adam Gase.
Adam Gase.
Oh, God. Wasn't Gase in Chicago at one point?
He might have been. He might have been. But I would say, we're going to focus.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on free agency to getting you the best offensive line we can put in front of you.
Yeah, he was offensive coordinator for 1 year, and they did an okay enough job where that's when he got hired by Miami.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Miami job. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, see, no. So this is what I do. I then spend the offseason putting a strong offensive line in front of Justin Fields. And then in the draft, start getting him some additional tools to work with. Hell, maybe I'll see if I can get what's his name? Brandon Marshall to come out of retirement for a season. I'm joking.
Jay Cutler. Bring back Jay Cutler.
No, we don't need Jay Cutler if we got Justin Fields. I'm kidding. I'm kidding about Brandon. I'm kidding about Brandon Marshall, by the way.
That's just, hey, I mean, Dez and T.O. keep saying they want playing time.
Yeah, see if you can get Dez Bryant. You know what? I would even throw money at the Lions to get Megatron to come back for 2 years. I would seriously go to the Lions and say, I will pay whatever money that he wants that you would owe him. I will pay it if you relinquish his rights right now. And then with the defense you've already got in place, you let the offense thrive. And then I'll take you one step further. I move Megatron in with Justin Fields in the offseason. I offer to pay their bills just so they can gel.
Martha Ford would never.
No, she wouldn't. So You know what? Maybe you see about getting Dez Bryant. Maybe you talk. I mean, I wouldn't say T.O. because T.O. is a franchise killer. He's a locker room cancer. Maybe Dez Bryant because he did make that catch. Give him a chance. Why not? Give him a chance. Give him an opportunity.
That was a catch. I'll say it. That was a catch by Dez.
And then furthermore,
give it to the man.
And furthermore, I'll take it another step further, J-Law. You want to know how far I take it the next step? I get Jerry Rice to come in as a wide receiver consultant. If I'm the Bears, I just throw money at
You're
this
giving it the full 2 feet in bounds, I see.
Oh my God, yes. I'm giving it the catch bricks in the off season. Okay. That's what I do. So then Justin Fields can be the next guy behind our next story of Patrick Mahomes becoming the fastest quarterback to 15,000 career passing yards. Did it in only his 49th career game. I'd put all that money into my offense and my offensive line so that way Justin Fields does it in 42 games. And of course, Mahomes did this in a losing effort. What about the Chiefs this year? Is this more the Chiefs have to? Is this finally that the Chiefs defense shows to be the liability that they truly are, J-Lo? Is the bloom off the Andy Reid rose?
I mean, they just can't stop anybody. Ravens, they gave up 36 to the Ravens. They gave up 29 to the Browns, and another 30 piece to the Chargers. I mean, you would think the Eagles this coming week is going to be a dub, but then after that, they got the Bills. That's going to be tough. Washington, probably going to be a dub, or should be a dub. Let me rephrase that. Should be. They go Washington, Titans, and Giants should be dubs. Then they play the Packers. Packers are such a weird wild card this year. It's like they're not playing great, but they're winning games.
But they're still the Packers.
Yeah, they're still the Packers. And, you know, you give Aaron Rodgers 32 seconds and no timeouts, he's still going to put his team in position to kick a game-winning field goal because he's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
The way the Raiders have been playing, the Raiders look like they could win the division, for goodness sakes.
Man, the Raiders.
The 3-0 start, that's a hot start. Cowboys, they're going to put up big numbers. I don't think that great of a team, but they'll put up big numbers. The Broncos off to a hot start as well. Raiders again, and then they play the Chargers again. Obviously, man, they go division games 3 weeks in a row, and then they play your Steelers, and then they end with the Bengals and Broncos again. The way they've been playing, dude, these are going to be a lot closer of games, and the joke has always been that Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're not good to bet on because they'll win, but they'll never cover. They're always favored to win by it could be like 3.5 and they'll win by 2. You know, it'll be 2.5 and they'll win on like a game-winning field goal that puts them up by 1 or something like that. They'll never, ever, ever cover. You have to bet on them to win outright to actually win a bet.
And that's the kind of betting that I would do, to be honest. Just win outright. Speaking of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, how about them Cowboys? So let me ask you this. Do you think Zeke scored? Let's take a look. Well, yes, this past weekend, the play calling, the play calling out of the officials has just been absolute trash. It's been straight up hot garbage.
Yeah.
In like a freaking hobo's boot. Okay. It's just been disgusting. It's just been absolutely terrible.
I'm trying to see. There was an over the head picture, I thought, of the touchdown, but it honestly looked like he crossed the plane.
He did.
It should have been.
I'm not even a doubt.
And they're saying that the Eagles front stopped him. They didn't really stop him, and even then, and it's like a couple of seconds normally before they're supposed to blow the play dead. I feel like he stopped moving and they instantly blew the whistle. There was no room to like try to see if one side was going to give over the other one. Because you see plays sometimes where it looks like the dude is stuck, and then a huge offensive lineman comes barreling behind him 2 seconds later and pushes him forward into the end zone.
Whole damn thing forward. Yeah, absolutely.
And they usually let it run. They let it run for a couple seconds before they blow it dead, but they blew it dead the second he ran into his own lineman. And all he did was take a step back and go further.
It's been very, very inconsistent. There needs to be some sort of repercussions for bad officiating. There needs to be.
Well, the repercussions are, if you're a terrible official, you're probably going to get fired. 2, you don't get the extra paychecks for doing the playoffs and the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but there needs to be more to it than that. Seriously, like players and coaches don't need to be getting fined for, but I understand why they do. We got to take a break. We're going to go into our final segment. We're going to talk about the biggest storylines and takeaways from the Vendetta perspective. We're also going to go over our picks for week 4. And then we're going to talk a little bit of NBA. Andrew Wiggins trying to use God as a way to get out of getting the vaccine. Did it work? Spoiler alert, hell no. Jacob Lacob fined $50,000 talking about the Ben Simmons. And Shohei Otani, if the Angels don't improve, he's walking, Jackson Law.
I don't blame him.
Happy now, Trey? Baseball has been mentioned on the show. And of course, we're going to do a real quick sort of talk about the first preseason game of the NHL season took place last night. And some of those first games. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm kind of happy and upset about hockey coming back. And we're going to talk about why. The final segment of the Tanndemonium Sports Show here, streaming live, twitch.tv, part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network. We'll be back for a final segment.
The following is brought to you in partnership by Symbol. Symbol is a new sports marketplace where you can trade shares of professional teams like stocks. You love sports. You interested in fantasy sports without the weekly annoyance of fantasy league upkeep? Then Symbol's the app for you. With Symbol, fantasy sports is going to a whole other level. How it works is simple. You buy Symbol shares for your favorite sim teams on the app. When your sim team wins, you get automatic cash deposits, and you don't lose any money when they lose. That's it. So if you follow trends across football, basketball, and baseball, and you think your team is a sleeper, simply invest in your favorite sim teams on Symbol and watch your virtual portfolio prove you right or wrong. And if you want to get in on the action right away, Vendetta Sports Media's got you covered. Go to symbol.app/Vendetta and use our exclusive promo code Vendetta, and you'll get a $10 bonus when making your first deposit. Symbol, taking fantasy sports to a whole other level.
And we're back on the Tanndemonium Sports Show here on the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Networks, streaming live on Twitch TV. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Bryan Tann, he's Jackson Law. Let's get back down to it. Jackson, some of the biggest storylines and takeaways from the Vendetta perspective. And this is an article written by Max Murphy. This came out today. Max doing some good stuff, bang up stuff as always. Let me share my screen. Bizam, bazinga, as they say.
Bazinga.
Matt Stafford and the Rams are the team to beat. With that win against the Buccaneers, that's absolutely right, Jackson Law. I mean, Stafford is playing some of the best football of his career. You want to talk about career resurgence with a new team, Matt Stafford is your guy.
I'm telling you, man, the Rams are scary. The Rams are so scary. That defense and finally a quarterback. Like, I know there's people like a nickname that, shout out Max Murphy. I know people were calling Matthew Stafford for many years. I think it was Stat Pafford was his nickname. Oh, it's just Bryan now.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix. I'm trying to do fun things with this, and it just didn't.
Oh, fun things. Experimenting, I see. Where was I going with this? Yeah. Dude, they're scary. Like, I think like the Cardinals and the Panthers are like dark horse teams that would just be fun. The Bucks are obviously still there, but I think the Rams, again, they're my pick. They're my pick out of the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. And I can't remember if I said who I thought was going to win the Super Bowl, but I think the Rams are going to win it the way that they've been playing so far, and the way they put the shellacking on the defending champs.
I agree 100%. I mean, now one of the best teams in football now has a legit franchise quarterback.
Whoo! Yeah, and hey, my Bills pick, it looked a little shaky week 1, but weeks 2 and 3 it looks a lot better, which they haven't played the greatest of competition, but they've bounced.
They're looking like the Bills.
The second half of the Dolphins game, the offense finally woke up, and it hasn't gone back to sleep since. At least through this
could be a Rams Bills Super Bowl.
Hey, and that was my pick, and I'm here for it. Obviously,
that means you got That means you got two different breeds of bovine going at it for a bowl, for a ceramic food eating device. Hey, can't beat that with a hammer. The NFC East belongs to the Dallas Cowboys. Well, it's good to know that you can actually show up in among the worst divisions in football. I think the only division that sucks more than the NFC East is probably the NFC Central. But I mean, hey, Dallas is playing good ball. And I mean, Dak Prescott is a great quarterback. He's earning his money. He's keeping his teams in it. He's getting those wins. And when you throw 21 of 26 for 238 yards and 3 touchdowns, hey, listen.
Yeah, but
I don't care if it is the Eagles defense. I don't care if it is the Eagles that you're beating.
You got to look at the competition too.
But that's what you're supposed to do against bad competition. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and again, the Cowboys, I don't know what to think of them. I just have no real faith in them. And I've been waiting to bring this up for the past hour, but I don't think like Stephen A, where they should be the 3rd ranked team in the NFL. Stephen A's top 5 teams in the NFL that he put out, which again, don't take much credence in this. I'll agree with him on number 1. Number 1 is he's got the LA Rams. I'll give him number 1.
I'll take that. I'll take that low hanging fruit.
Yeah, but then the Packers at 2 and the Cowboys at 3. Like, what happened to?
All right, who's your top 5? Give us your top 5.
Oh, let me look real quick. I'm
putting you on the spot. Well, while you're looking, I'm gonna give you my top 5 if I may.
All right, go ahead, go for it.
All right, number 1, LA Rams. Number 2, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 3, Buffalo Bills. Number 4, Cleveland Browns. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs. That's my top 5.
Okay.
And then you know what? And matter of fact, and then I will throw LA Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders.
Hey, I was still on the train. They should have gone back to LA. It should have been, you should have had the Raiders and
I would love
the
to have I like that. I like that. I would have preferred the Chargers stay in San Diego and then you just have your LA Raiders and your LA Rams. But
yeah,
whatever.
That's classic.
Well, it's not like anyone in Oakland's going to notice.
No.
That's my top. That's my top.
Right, my top 5 on the spot. First off, yes, the Rams. That one is easy.
The
Rams. Number 2, I agree with the Bucks. Even though they lost to the Rams, and they still put up great numbers. They just got outperformed by the Rams. So, I mean, it was only a 10-point game. That's not huge in the grand scheme of scoring. It was just one team played a little better. And Tom Brady, he threw for over 400 yards in the game. Like, it wasn't like a lack of trying on their part. They just got outperformed by the better team that day.
And then some.
Number 3, I am going to go with who did you have at number 3?
I went with the Bills. No. Yeah, I think I went with the Bills and then I went with the Browns.
Okay, I'll go Bills at 3. I'll agree with that. I'm going to go Cardinals at 4. Because they have been hot and Kyler Murray looks like the MVP. He didn't have like the Jaguars game was pretty bad, but you know,
they don't do great all the time.
Football's tough. Okay. Football's tough. Even against the Jacksonville Jaguars, you still have to show up and you have to win.
Yeah. It's not like you're playing the Pitt Panthers or Appalachian State or anything.
And then rounding out the top 5, kind of have to, I'll go with the Browns. I'll go with the Browns at top 5. Okay. 6 would probably for me be like, I don't know who 6 would be. 6, I would probably. I don't know. I don't know who number 6 would be.
That's very telling to me that you don't have the Chiefs in the top 5. But I get it. I get it because that defense is not.
And here's the thing: record does have to play some sort into it, but then so does the competition that they have to play, which is why I'm struggling to find like who would I put at 6. No, I don't know. Like beyond 5, it gets really tough, and it's all I feel like preference because I could put the Chargers there, I could put the Raiders there. You know, the Broncos have played really well.
I can't wait to see what the Broncos do.
You know, the 49ers are 30 seconds away from going 3-0. You know, I wouldn't put the Bengals up there.
That's what makes the first month of football so much fun is the speculation. That's what makes this first month of football so much fun.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker, 66-yard field goal.
He is a god. He's an absolute.
Whew, he's broken many a Steeler fan's heart. That's all I got to say.
Just broke an NFL record. He kicked the ball from his team's side of the field to win the game.
It's true.
And it was literally all that he had. Like,
it was everything. He got the power meter at its highest zenith. At the zenith.
I mean, and even then, he had to get the bounce from the crossbar for it to spin up in the air and fall into the goalpost for it to be good.
Bro, man made it happen, yo. Bro, man made it happen.
Like, that's just like, you almost feel bad for Lions fans because they looked like they were going to get a win. And I was like, I'm going to root for them to win because I just want to see the chaos that ensues from the Ravens being these potential like Super Bowl contenders and people saying that Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the AFC or second best quarterback in the AFC, all this stuff, top 5 quarterback in the league. Just the chaos to see them go 1-2. That's what I was rooting for, because I always root for the chaotic ending. Even if it's an ending that is against what I picked, I always root for the most chaotic ending.
That's true.
And I agree with Krieg. There's no way
we're going to see that kind of kick again
in our life. It was,
but you know what? But folks said
amazing.
Folks said that about the 62-yard field goal that set the record in the first place from the New Orleans Saint kicker that was missing part of his foot, kicking it with a nub. Badass. You know what? I think probably in the next like 10 years when I'm like, or 10 to 20 years when I'm like 50 or 60, we're going to see a dude kick a 70-yard field goal that's going to go straight through. It's not even going to have to hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
It's just
like I see people, like you see people on YouTube kicking 70-yard field goals, but they're also not in like full gear and like, I say full pads. Kickers don't wear a large amount of pads, but still they don't have a helmet on. They don't have a bunch of beef in front of them that they have to.
I was about to say too, there's not 11 dudes charging at him either.
Right. He's got all the time in the world to get set.
Seriously. The Raiders are off to a 3-0 start, and the Raiders are being, like, with the exception of like the Steelers. Well, the Raiders have been pulling off wins. They've been winning games where you need to gut out to win. And I have to give the Raiders credit for that. Does this mean that Derek Carr is finally going to get the respect that he deserves as starting quarterback? I hope so. I really
probably not, because
but he should.
It's NFL Twitter.
Yeah, but the thing is, the one thing that sucks to me about Derek Carr is that when you look at, and I'm going to reference I believe it's the 1983 NFL quarterback class that had, John Elway, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, and then Bernie Kosar.
What a class.
It was an amazing class. And even Bernie Kosar, for as good of a quarterback as he was never mentioned in the names of those guys. I'll even take you one step further. Another Cleveland Browns quarterback, Vinny Testaverde, who bounced all over the place, was a solid quarterback, but he was always bouncing around. Why? He never really got the credit of a great quarterback that he was. He just happened to always be on bad teams. And it seemed like Derek Carr was destined for that, being a good quarterback on a crappy team. And now it looks like he's being vindicated.
People are very short-minded in the NFL. Carr was playing at an MVP level a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the Raiders were looking like they were going to have an incredible run. And I want to say he broke his leg, and then they faltered in the playoffs, and they've never made it back to the same level since.
And here we come, and he's got a good defense on the other side of the ball. His weapons are working. The offensive line is protecting him. Man, this could be good. This could be real good. Jets, worst team in the NFL, 8 quarters, 6 points.
Oh,
and Zach Wilson has been proven to Max Murphy that he was a big mistake.
Tough.
7 interceptions.
Listen,
in 3 games.
No one is succeeding in that scenario. Okay, no one is. Look at Sam Darnold. Look at Sam Darnold. He was on that same team, and look at him ball.
Now, he is balling
in Carolina.
In Carolina.
He's looked so good in Carolina.
There were so
many plays on that Thursday night game where he's having to roll out and he's just throwing darts on the run, dude. And it's just he's like, DJ Moore, boom, I got you. First game of the season against the Jets, it was poetic to see him throw a bomb to Robbie Anderson. Two former New York Jets at the same time.
Jets number 1, Jaguars number 2. Whoever is picked in that, unless they go defense with their number 1 pick, like if I'm a quarterback and the Jets draft me, I say, nope, not going. I'll go play in the XFL.
Wasn't it Eli Manning that said Eli
refused to go to the to San Diego, and San Diego drafted him anyway, and he refused to go, so they made the trade. Phillip Rivers,
yeah,
yep. I would seriously opt out if I were an underclassman.
I mean, it worked for him. He got 2 Super Bowls, and he's probably going to the Hall of Fame because of it.
If I were to come out of the go into the NFL draft as an underclassman, I would seriously be like, nope, going back to school. Sorry, bro.
I still got 1 year of eligibility left.
That's right. Yo, I redshirt at a D3 school. Okay. And finally,
I'm a JUCO transfer. I can play till I'm 26.
There you go. And you know what? And then, of course, finally in the Max Murphy article, Big Ben's time's come to an end. We know that. It's over. It's done. Forget about it.
That was, I think the saddest thing I saw from last week was when he tried to scramble and throw on the run. He took 2 steps and he just crumpled and just block.
Oh, you know what? I believe we do have that.
It was sad. It's a part of your childhood of watching football and falling in love with the game, dying in front of your eyes, like slowly.
It really is. It's hurtful. It really is.
And then he throws an interception, and I mean, he just like tossed it to the linebacker.
Yeah, he's just like,
here, you have the ball.
He's like, you know what? I don't want this thing no more. Just, you know what? I'm done.
You're not Deontay Johnson, but here.
You look like him. You look like you might be him. So you know what? I'm just gonna throw it to you. And that was a horrible throw. I heard it as I was driving back home, and it was just disgusting.
Yeah, here we go.
Look at that. Just
my gosh. This is just...
Now, granted, Derek Watt made the catch, but it's like, man.
You would have thought he was Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl running for his life.
But there's no one around him. There's no one
defy gravity and just like levitate like a Jedi in the air to throw the ball down the field. But no, there was no one in like a 4-yard radius of the man.
Seriously.
His offensive line actually did a great job, and the screen was set up really good.
And it's just like, yeah. That just looked like he gave up in the middle of the throw. I was like, I don't want to do this. You know what? I want to go home. Guys, I'm done.
That's a man that said he's going to start taking better care of himself so he can play longer in the NFL.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, the only way you plan, you know what? You might as well get used to being the number 3 on a roster. That was an old man fall.
Old man fall.
Dude, it looked like he spent more energy trying to
get that man a life alert.
Seriously. All right, you want to go through the week 4 predictions real quick so we can get through that, so we can get to the other stuff.
Rapid fire them.
All right, Thursday night, Tristan is
Big Ben should retire.
He should. He really should. 100%. You know, honestly, if I'm the Steelers, this is what I do. I sit Big Ben, and you know what? I give mediocre Mason Rudolph a chance to actually give him that chance. And you know what? Maybe you do crappy enough that you can actually build your line and maybe get your next guy in the second or third round.
We're both like still in on Dwayne Haskins. I haven't fully given up on him yet.
Fair enough.
Just put him out there.
No, why not?
Halfway
do much worse.
Literally can't do much worse. It's only uphill from where you're at right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
unless you're the Jets, then you coast at the bottom.
Honestly, I think that at this point,
that team has never been the same since the butt fumble. You know that?
Oh, I know.
Ever since the butt fumble, that team has just plummeted.
Your level of accurate and correct is staggering, and it kind of hurts my feelings to hear. Anywho, Thursday night game. We have Bengals versus Jaguars. I got the Bengals on this one. Like, it's not even.
Yeah, same. Same.
Joe Burrow balls out in this game as well.
I believe a bit more in the Bengals team. Thanks for the reminder.
Poor Krieg.
Listen, Krieg, we're all sitting in a cesspool of despair, okay? So the only way to make ourselves feel better is to punch the other people that are in the pit with us.
You know what makes me feel good as a Gen Xer? I remember when the Steelers were bad as a kid, okay? I remember they got shut out at Three River Stadium by the Browns, okay? I remember
when the Dolphins
all the
were
years
bad. Every year that I've been alive except for 2008 and 2000, like the second year with Gase. That was like 2015, 16, something like that.
Some in that realm of possibility. All right, Titans, Jets. I have Titans by a country mile. The Jets ain't doing nothing. You know what the Jets are going to do? The Jets are going to do a really, really good job at sucking. All right.
Derrick Henry is on a Derrick Henry fantasy watch. If you got Derrick Henry in fantasy, play
him.
Play that man. Even if you've got like Julio, maybe. Well, I don't know, because Ryan Tannehill's okay. Tannegoat. Excuse me.
Dude, but Derrick Henry runs for over 200 yards, and Zach Wilson throws like 5 interceptions. I'm calling it. You thought last week was ugly. This week is going to be even worse. Bud Dupree is going to have the game that folks are going to be like, yeah, he's earning that money with the Titans.
Yeah. And I know, like the Titans, I don't really believe in the Titans, but the money line is 7.5 in favor of Tennessee. Smash that over.
And then
smash it.
Now, what is your over under on my tweets this weekend? Because I have to make up for last weekend. What's my number?
You have to make up for last weekend. Who is the opponent? It's the Packers. Ooh. Yeah, this could.
And we're gonna be a Lambo. Well, hold on. Matter of fact, let's save that until we get to that on the schedule. Let's
in the Chiefs, schedule. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Chiefs, Eagles. I got the Chiefs in this one. I think the Chiefs have a bit of a bounce back game. I think that it's just a matter of if the defense shows up. Offense is going to ball out. It's the defense.
Yeah.
Panthers, Cowboys. This is going to be a good one, but Jackson, I got my money on Sammy Boy.
Oh, I do too. If the Panthers start 4-0, oh my gosh.
Goodness.
We like Vendetta should not let the world hear the end of it, because we have been one of the biggest believers in Sam Darnold here.
Yes.
Trey was on Sam before he got into the league, I want to say. And
we were calling for the Steelers to trade for Sam Darnold last year. I know. You and I were.
And when he got to Carolina, I was like, that's a great landing spot for him. Love it. He's got Christian McCaffrey, a good offensive line. He's got DJ Moore. He's got Robbie Anderson. There's a defense out there. The defense has got some dogs in it. RIP to CJ Horn, though.
Yeah. God, but you know what? But they made a big
But then they just made a trade for CJ Anderson, who was a first-round pick from the Jaguars.
Man, what is Urban Meyer doing?
They gave up, although it is a little bit upsetting, because who they gave up Dan Arnold, and Sam Darnold throwing to Dan Arnold was just really fun.
Darnold to Arnold.
Sam Darnold to Dan Arnold. We don't get that anymore. We got it for a few weeks. We don't get it now.
Yeah,
but they gave up a tight end and a 3rd round pick for a first round pick who I read something today that said that they got rid of him because they're, lack of effort kind of thing. But you're in Jacksonville. Who's going to give max effort in Jacksonville?
I think the only one that would be Ashley Williams. That's just because that was his destination spot in Ash versus the Evil Dead. That's about it. But Jacksonville does have an amazing TGI Fridays. Saints, Giants. Is it even a choice?
I hate this for the Giants. I really do, but
I
may be early on the Giants, and I still like their defense. I still like Joe Judge, but Daniel Jones is just not the guy. He's just not the guy. Trust me, pal. He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
Browns, Vikings. Browns continue their winning ways, man. Browns beat up the Vikings.
I never know what to think of the Vikings. And it's weird. The Vikings are like just a few plays in their favor from being 2-1 and maybe even 3-0 right now.
Yeah, but the problem is you got Kirk Cousins, who's probably the most overpaid.
That's true. You got Kirk Cousins, but then you've also got Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen on offense. So it's like they have great offensive weapons. If they just had a quarterback that was anyone else than Kirk Cousins, I honestly would enjoy this team a bit more.
Yeah. Lions, Bears. Whew, this is tough. This is hard.
I'm going Lions. I'm calling it right now. Lions win. Nagy out the door after that.
So
put it in writing.
Now, here's the thing. So if the Lions win 14-13, does Nagy still have a job?
He shouldn't.
Okay.
I'll say that.
If the Bears win 14-10, does Nagy still have a job?
He shouldn't.
Fair enough. Texans, Bills. Again,
is
there
Bills.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills going to be wrangling up some cattles.
That's right. Actually, you know what? Since I think a bill is, I think the Bills are the male of the Buffalo. I think they mount those. I think the Texans get mounted by the Bills for sure. Those poor cowpokes, because they're going to be getting poked from the boy cow. Oh, went there, took it there. Colts, Dolphins. Your Dolphins continue their losing ways, I think.
Pass.
Yeah, fair enough.
Pass.
Washington.
No, if you're betting on this game, if you have fantasy players,
find another game to bet
do
on.
not touch it with a 100-foot pole, okay? Like Krieg and Font do their Empire's Finest picks that come out every week. Check it out, vendetta-sportsmedia.com, and then check out Empire's Finest on Twitter too. Shout out to those guys. But they do not touch this game, guys. When your picks come out, I better see we are not touching this game, because if so, then somehow both of you guys are going to lose. Somehow, what's going to happen? Okay,
I think the fact that if you guys even give this game a moment more than 35 seconds of your time, you failed this company.
It's just so bad.
You failed yourselves. You failed your company. You failed your families. You failed the internet.
It's pass is all I say. I'm not picking a winner here. I'm not picking a loser. I'm passing. I refuse for this to go on my record.
Washington football team versus the Falcons.
This is gross too, but I'm going Washington.
Oh, I'm easily going Washington. Like beyond. Now this is going to be a fun game. Seahawks, Niners. This is going to be a game. It's in the game. And honestly, I'm probably going to go. I'm going to go with the Niners on this one, to be honest. I'm going with the Niners on this one.
My head tells me to go with the Niners, but my heart tells me Seahawks. And the reason why is because the Seahawks, and as good of a division as they are, they know they cannot go down 1-3. Okay? With the Cardinals being 3-0, the Rams being 3-0, and their opponent, the 49ers, being 2-1 right now. You beat the Niners, you're 2-2. You're still in the bottom half of the division, but you can still find a way to climb out of it if you go on a run for a couple of games at the midway point, latter part in the season. Seahawks have to find a way to close this game out. I don't know if they're going to do it. So I think the 49ers are probably going to pull it off. But the 49ers have given up a lot of big points to terrible teams. They got lit up by the Lions. And obviously they couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers with 30 seconds on the clock. Couldn't keep him out of field goal range. So,
and I think that's also a testament to the fact that they need a better running game. Get Frank Gore on the horn. He could at least grind you out some yards so that you don't give the elite quarterbacks 30 seconds. They only have 10. The NFC West just continues to be an animal. Like, this is still, to me, the best division in football. It's the most competitive division in football. If any of these four teams are if they're in any other division, they're the top team. That includes the Seahawks. With that being said, Cardinals, Rams, this is a game, honestly, I don't even want to pick. I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy it.
The fact that this is a 3:05 game, listen, I get why Pats and Bucks is the Sunday night game. It's because of the story. But the actual game itself, the game of this Sunday, is Cardinals and Rams.
I agree.
100%.
I think any game that the Rams are in is the marquee matchup, in my opinion.
I agree. The Rams are so much fun to watch this year. I wish I still don't care much for like the jerseys. Like they have those cream colored jerseys with the
I'm not a fan. I would rather them go. I want them to go back to the 80s look. I want that dark blue with the gold, with the yellow.
Yeah, like the Kurt Warner Greatest Show on Turf era type of.
I want that gritty ass look from the 80s when Jack Youngblood was playing broken leg.
See, yeah, I hold a soft spot too, you know, like the mid 2000s, like with you know, when Sam Bradford was first quarterback. Those were terrible football teams, but the uniforms
jerseys were nice. I like
them. Yeah. I'm gonna go Rams here just because they're my Super Bowl pick.
I'm gonna begrudgingly go with the Rams as well. I don't think Kyler Murray is quite ready to gunsling.
It's also a home game for the Rams too. So
yeah. Well, I don't think Kyler Murray's ready to gunsling with Matt Stafford. Calamari.
It's calamari. Calamari. Get our inner Aqib Talib. Calamari. I swear, if they have Aqib Talib on this game, I will rage against the machine.
Steelers, Packers. I'm going with the Pack. Aaron Rodgers just, unless TJ Watt is back on the field, I never thought that I would see a team a defense that would just be completely dependent on one man. TJ Watt isn't in the game, and the Steelers lose their 75 games straight. This could have been 76 straight games with a sack. They lose it. They didn't even get any pressures on Joe Burrow.
Unless JJ Watt is fully healthy and the spirit of Lawrence Taylor, or TJ Watt, unless TJ Watt is fully healthy and the spirit of Lawrence Taylor descends upon him.
Yeah. Or even if Devin Bush starts to play like the second coming of Lawrence Taylor, as people thought he was going to be, which I'm sorry, Devin Bush isn't. I think Devin Bush still needs another year before he becomes a dangerous player again, because when you're coming off an ACL injury, that's what happens. Not to mention the fact that if you get flagged from just barely hitting Joe Burrow clean, you hit Aaron Rodgers, you might get ejected from the game. I see the Steelers getting ransacked in this game.
It's not going to be pretty.
It's not going to be pretty. This might even be the last game that we see Ben Roethlisberger start in. I think he gets beat up. Like, the Packers don't have a lot of known guys on their defense, but that's what makes them scary. And I think the Pack, they start to they establish some. I think this is the game. This is the game where the Packers establish some real dominance in the NFC North. Ravens, Broncos. I'm kind of excited for this. I want to see what Teddy Bridgewater can do. You know, the Broncos have been beating on some 0-3 teams this time around. I think this could be Teddy Bridgewater's coming out party. But Teddy Bridgewater versus Lamar Jackson, this is going to be interesting. I think that the Broncos defense might be able to maybe do a little something to make it uncomfortable for Lamar Jackson. I'm actually going to go with the Broncos on this.
Yeah, listen, the Ravens, I know random things happen in football all the time, and it is what it is. The Ravens are 2-1, so that's 2 wins that they have on their record. But they're a fumble. They needed a fumble from Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the demigod leg of Justin Tucker to win their 2 football games this season.
He did conjure up Thor's power.
And again, I get it. Those are wins. That stuff happens. They found a way to win them. So now,
missed delay of game. Thank you, Creed.
Yeah, and a missed delay of game. Yes, that was like 3 seconds until the ball was finally snapped after the clock had hit 0. I honestly do believe there is some bias towards the Ravens in the NFL because they want to spin this narrative of Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes being the next Manning versus Brady.
Yeah.
Even though I don't consider it too much of a rivalry, because after the Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumble, that was the first time Lamar Jackson has beaten the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes also has an MVP in a Super Bowl. Lamar's got an MVP, but
I see Lamar Jackson is not a good quarterback. He's not. He's a running back that throws the ball every so often. He's a constant wildcat.
Yeah, I know. The one game that they talked about too, you know, winning against the Chiefs, they're like, Lamar Jackson did it all. He honestly didn't throw the ball well. He ran it great, but throwing the ball, not so much.
I would never build a team around Lamar Jackson. I'd build a team around Patrick Mahomes 9 times out of 10. Except
I did early in the show. I did.
The only reason why I didn't is because I believe in offensive lines.
Fair.
But if you told me I had to pick a quarterback number 1, it is absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, Patrick Mahomes. Matter of fact, these are the quarterbacks that I would take before Lamar Jackson. Real fast, okay? Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Matt Stafford. This is in no real order. Okay. Who else? Teddy Bridgewater. I take Teddy Bridgewater over Lamar Jackson. Bro, I would rather have Mac Dad Body Jones.
Give me Josh Allen all day of the week.
Oh, absolutely, Josh.
Sam Darnold's playing phenomenally.
Absolutely. All right, let's finish this up because we're out of time.
Yeah.
Finish
Kyler
this
Murray.
up.
Kyler Murray.
Buccaneers, Patriots. It's easily the Buccaneers.
Easily
Tom
the
Brady
Bucs.
torches Bill Belichick. He torches him in a way that is just, it should be a sin.
That is going to be an ugly Sunday
Tom
night game.
Brady is going to go to hell for what he does.
They are,
They
and it's
really
not going to
are,
be
and it's
exciting.
not.
It's not. Like I said, I get why it's the Sunday night game because of the narrative, but
yeah, but
come on,
a storyline does not a good football game make.
No.
And then for our Monday night game, Raiders Chargers, I see the Raiders going 4-0. I do. I see the Raiders are too hot right now. Derek Carr is dropping dimes left, right, center, side to side, up and down your mom's back while doing lines through your sister's hair. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. And it's not fair. It's not right.
I'm going with the Chargers on this one.
You just want to be different.
No.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I like the Chargers defense. I like the Chargers defense. I'm not convinced about this Gruden team as a whole. And I think Herbert will do better against the Raiders defense than what Carr will do against the Chargers defense.
All right, Squirrely Dan.
I think that division's going to be really tough, especially like with the Chiefs dropping, the Broncos starting 0-3, the Chargers
3-0.
3-0. Mm-hmm. Gosh, my brain is so backwards tonight.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all backwards tonight.
Let's jump to the NBA real quick. Let's finish off these 3 quick stories real quick. I'm going to give you the story, and I'm going to give a quick idea of it. You give this yours. Let's try to keep them quick. Mm-hmm. The NBA denies Andrew Wiggins' request for religious exemption from getting vaccination. Honestly, J-Law, I think it's absolutely disgusting that Andrew Wiggins would even try to go this route. Bro, if you're not going to get the vaccine, say you're not going to quit trying to bring God into it. It's stupid. I'm sick of this narrative of people trying to use religion as a way to ignore science.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, like the NBA, they're a private business. They get to set what they want to do. And honestly, if you don't like it, you can leave.
You can sit out.
You know, you can request a trade somewhere to where the state that the new team plays in or the city doesn't have mandates.
Yeah.
Or you could be like Kyrie Irving and just decide not to play in Brooklyn for half the season.
There you go.
What it looks like is going to happen.
So, let's see. So the Warriors owner, Jacob Lacob, is that his name? Jacob Lacob? I
think is it
Jalal?
I could be wrong.
Jalal. I'll just call him Jalal.
Jalal.
He's been fined $50,000 for violating the league's anti-tampering rule. He's saying, quote, in some ways it doesn't really fit. Let me see.
Didn't he say he didn't want Ben Simmons on the team?
Actually, he said he didn't want him. He said, in some ways it doesn't really fit what we're doing. He said he makes a lot of money, and can he finish games? I don't know. I want to know, how that's tampering? I guess they feel that he's telling other teams not to pick Ben Simmons, but I'm pretty sure that this guy does not have the ear of every owner and GM in the NBA. Come on.
No, I mean, like,
come on, kids. Let's be
whatever. That's just
this decision stinks.
That's not tampering. That's just
shit talking Ben Simmons, man.
That's just saying what it is when you're not supposed to say that when you're in the position that he is.
You know what Ben Simmons is? Honestly, he is a less talented version of Magic Johnson.
No, okay.
He's the same height. He's about the same height. He can pass, but he cannot score.
I'll do you one better. You know whose shot chart all of last season he was comparable to?
Who's that?
Clint Capella.
Ooh.
He is a shorter.
How are you a point guard being compared?
He is a shorter Clint Capella with the ability to pass. That has Ben Simmons.
That's
like
terrible.
I'm not kidding. I am not kidding you. Someone put their shot charts up side by side on Twitter, and it was Clint Capella compared to Ben Simmons, exactly the same.
Now, real quick, and I mean real fast. You're the NBA guy.
Yeah.
Where does Ben Simmons land since he says he's done with the Sixers? Where does he land? Go.
Ooh.
I can hear the smoke.
That's the dude. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel like
Portland, East or West team.
They said they want to go west. I'd say Portland, but Dame says he doesn't want out. But Ben Simmons wants out now. I would say it would be a Western Conference team. It's obviously going to be a Western Conference team.
What do you think? Courtney says the Spurs. You know what, Courtney?
I think Spurs or Minnesota. Spurs or Minnesota. That's my pick.
Explain to us why you think it's going to be the Spurs, Courtney. And I have no dog in this fight because I'm not an NBA guy yet. I'm going to try to become an NBA guy this season. So real quick, Courtney, tell us why you think. And you know what? I can just add you to the stream. So I guess you should just come and do it yourself because I can just do it. I don't care if you do have an Afghan on your head.
Okay. It's either going to be Houston, OKC, Spurs, or Minnesota.
All right, Courtney. Where does he go? Why is it the Spurs?
Because the Spurs doesn't have anybody, so they probably really desperately just want somebody. So, especially that's what I feel like.
I'll tell you right now, residential Spurs fan Chickster does not want Ben Simmons on the Spurs.
Who does?
I understand.
I'm a casual basketball guy. And even I don't want Ben Simmons.
And I left this team out on purpose, and it's because I don't want him. But the Grizzlies are potential trade partners, and a lot of people on Grizz Twitter want it to happen because of what Ben Simmons could potentially be. And I don't want to touch that, man.
All right, so Courtney, who did the Spurs give up in this trade? Who and what do they give up to get the Ben Simmons?
Oh, I don't know. Let me look.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm.
Wow. All right. So here's my thought.
I don't follow the Spurs. I can't name the 15th and 14th guy off the roster off the top of my head.
Well, you're going to have to give up a named player and at least a first round pick either this year or next.
You're going to have to give up a couple first round.
You're going to have to give up a couple of
4 first round picks for the guy.
With what the Sixers are still going to be on the hook to pay this guy, you're going to have to give up a butt ton. Now, if I'm let's just say, if the Brooklyn Nets were to take him, number one, it's not. They're in the same division. They're in the same conference, so obviously that wouldn't happen. But let's just say nobody else in the NBA is willing. And the only team that has the pieces to do it are the Nets. That's when you possibly give up Kyrie because Kyrie is saying that he's not going to get vaccinated and New York has the mandate. So I think that's one of the only instances where you can go.
You know who's really pushing that trade to happen?
A player for a pick. Player for player in a pick. Who's that?
Stephen A. Stephen A. wants that trade to happen.
Stephen A. drinks piss.
He keeps pushing it. He's like, sources said KD won't allow it, but he keeps talking about it. It's just like,
I wish Stephen A. would just stop. You know who Stephen A.'s sources are? The shadows on his wall. Okay. He's not crazy. He's a little unwell.
Stephen A. has been forgetting to take his schizophrenia medicine again.
Hey, we don't make fun of mental health around here, J-Law.
I'm not.
I'm just saying. We are not shaming people that are schizophrenic.
No, I'm not.
J-Law is basically just making a reference to the fact that Stephen A. is not schizophrenic. He's just smoking crack.
Yes.
So, Courtney, who do the Spurs give up for him? You don't know yet? You know what? I think Greg Popovich. I think Greg Popovich just shows up and goes, guys, I'll owe you.
Yeah,
owe you. We'll owe you. Because I think Greg Popovich has as much pull in the NBA as Bill Belichick had like 6 years ago in the NFL, where he could just walk up to you and just say, come on, I'll owe you, friend. And they'll be like, all right, cool. Just give us something to make it look good. And I think that that's possibly how the Spurs get him. And then maybe Greg Popovich slaps him in the shape. All right, final. Otani makes it clear Angels get better or he's done.
Good for him.
Hey, 36 games under 500 in the last 4 seasons with the best player in the league on the 2 best players on the league on your roster. Trout and Otani. And
they're wasting Trout, and they're gonna waste Otani if they don't do something.
If
those guys don't leave.
You know, if I'm Otani, I go to the National League. I go to a National League team.
That would be fun because when he's pitching, he could still hit.
Honestly, I go to the Dodgers. I either go to the Dodgers or I go to the Mets. Why? Because the Mets may not be great, but they got a ton of money. And you can build around.
It's New York.
It's New York.
New York.
He's playing in New York. He's going to see a Broadway show. He's going to go get himself a hot dog. He's going to get a hot dog because he's walking in. And you know what? He ends up getting that Japanese New York lingo hybrid going. And it's amazing. I love it. I want this. You know what? Screw the Dodgers. I want him to go to the Mets. Because he's going to be walking here. A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's the way Emma Brown's going to be talking too in the next 2 weeks. That's going to be Emma Brown. She's going to be sitting there talking hockey. Yeah, you know that puck's going over there. I'm walking over here is what the puck said to him. Yeah, how you doing? You're a crazy little wackadoo. That's going to be Emma Brown on her hockey show.
Cannot wait.
And I'm still mad as hell that Emma Brown and young Andrew have a hockey show, which means they're not going to have time to do this show.
No.
So I guess now we really have to reach out to Gavin to get our hockey talk.
You have to guest star on their show now.
Oh, I have to guess on their show now.
There you go. Yeah.
Is that the trade that you're working on to get there? Okay, all right. Look at Courtney making moves. See, once again, I'm the low man on the totem pole on my own damn show. But I'm an executive now. So that's okay. I may be the low man on the totem pole on my own show, but I can still boss people around in my own way. So I'm not complaining. All right. With that being said, we are out of time. Thank you so much again to 50 episodes. A lot of podcasts don't make it this far. In one short year, this show has evolved. And I like to think, and I'm going to toot our own horn on this, Jackson Law and Courtney, don't call a plumber. I think that in a lot of ways, we have also helped influence a lot of the podcasting culture in Vendetta. I think we have. Because a lot of shows have been, taking extra steps, leaps and bounds to do their thing. And I truly appreciate we're 2 weeks away from my 1-year anniversary with Vendetta.
I think it's next week because
next week.
It if we did a full year's worth of podcasts, I remember we skipped around Christmas time last year.
Right.
So 51 is technically, but next week
next
is
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday is early October, but then it's that Saturday, I think, is the 9th.
That Saturday is the 9th.
And that 9th is a full cycle around the sun.
Fair enough. So it's been a year. I've really appreciated this journey so far. I asked myself if I was going to be able to do it at the time because I already had a podcast and I figured I would be fine with it. And then I took on other responsibilities. But every choice that I've made for my life since last year, I have always been done with the mindset of I have a podcast on Tuesdays and a podcast on Sundays. And matter of fact, I think we're a year from when I saw Vendetta U.
Yeah, that was a year ago.
Which is what got me with Vendetta in the first place.
And that vid's almost to 6,000 views.
Yeah.
So it gets a couple hundred views every month.
Yep. And after I saw that, I was like, you know what? I think this is a company I can get down with. And here we are a year later, and we're still going strong. I think that even with our producing and all that, we've really hit our stride. And to the two of you, you guys have made this show a freaking pleasure to be on. My hat that I'm not wearing is off to you, Jackson Law, and to you, Courtney Plummer. You guys do amazing. Courtney gets amazing detailed notes every week. She gives me enough time to be able to go through things to be prepared for the show. Jackson Law, with the exception of hockey, you always give me stuff to feed on.
I just don't know hockey, man. At
It's
least I'm
all good.
honest.
You are honest about it. You're honest about it.
That's true.
And you know what? You guys have also been
not Stephen A. trying to talk like boxing or something or UFC.
Right.
Or just any sports in general.
Anything in general. But you guys have also been very, very patient with me becoming a sports guy again and becoming a sports fan again.
Bryan.
And I will be eternally grateful. And I can't wait to see where we go a year from now, where we're at. But hey, we're the first Vendetta show to go live. Hey, W's all around.
Just out here, I'm eating those W's.
Love it. Love it. Eating it like the old me ate cake. So with that being said, she's Courtney Plummer. Don't call one. She'll handle it. J Law himself on the other end. We'll see you guys next week. We're going to be talking about what the hell the NFL has done in week 4. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully Jackson Law and I aren't belly aching too hard. And
I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be in tears.
Absolutely.
Straight tears.
And we're actually, and next week, we're going to start talking about the MLB postseason.
I'm going to be eating a tub of ice cream during the show.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be having some
eat my sorrows.
Yeah, I'm about to do that. I'll probably be doing that as well. But we're going to be talking about some MLB postseason coming up. I guess we'll have Trey on for that, even though I'm still mad at him for taking my best buddy in the whole wide world. And we'll talk some NHL as well. With that being said, I'm Bryan Tann, the Tannimal, Jackson Law, Courtney Don't Call the Plumber, Tanndemonium Sports Show, part of the Vendetta Sports Media Podcasting Network, streaming live exclusively every Tuesday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Vendetta Sports Media. Make sure you go to vendettasportsmedia.com to check out all of our content. Check us out on our YouTube channel, Vendetta Sports Media. Check us out on Twitter, media_Vendetta. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. We even got a TikTok. You can check out the Dance and Trey video. Because why? Trey was a dance major.
Why not? Oh,
Dance
he's one credit away from a dance major.
One credit away from being a dance major Trey. I could just see Trey doing the Napoleon Dynamite dance, and I can't get the image out of my head. Vote for Pedro. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Later on, make sure you stay tuned in on Twitch because the fantasy show is coming up very shortly. We'll see you next week. Hey.